Okay, the recording is started. Okay, a very good day to all of you. Welcome to the Industrial Talk series organized by the Department of Computer Engineering and Computer Science under School of Engineering and Computing in Manipal International University, Nilai, Negeri Sembilan, Malaysia. Thank you very much for joining here. And we are actually honored to able to invite one of the honorable inventors in Malaysia, which have made histories as well as his name inside newspapers and magazine, which is none other than Dr. Bucks Tan, who is a senior manager in R&D department in Vitrox Corporation, Malaysia, in Penang, as well as he is the owner and also the boss, or we call as the pioneer or the founder of Uncle Bucks Academy, which is focused in inventions and also in promoting inventive ideas and minds among the younger generation in Malaysia. Besides that, Dr. Buxton, okay, is also a practicing innovator with multiple awards, both in national and international level. In 2007, he won the National Innovator Award from the Prime Minister Office of Malaysia. He also won the award from Switzerland, India, Korea, Canada, Romania, and the United States. His invention of the lightweight steel grating has been approved by Petronas Malaysia to be used in the offshore and onshore facility. Besides that, Dr. Bucks also holds a PhD in Management of Innovation, and his research paper was on the implementation of and the effectiveness of using innovations as a catalyst for economic growth in Malaysia. Due to his vast experience, he has been engaged as an innovation consultant to the Royal Malaysian Police Force, PDRM, Public Works Department, JKR, and Petronas Group Security. He has also served in the government and sits in various public office as advisor and member of the board of directors. I personally know Mr. Bucks when in my previous employment in academics, as well as when I meet Mr. Bucks in many research competitions where he served as judge or speaker. Example like in ITEX, Pachipta, MTE, which is the national event competition, as well as in institutional event like RISES. So Mr. Bucks, Dr. Bucks is actually a very renewable and famous inventor in Malaysia. So let us welcome Dr. Bucks to share his tips and ideas with us. So before I pass to him, I would like to mention that Dr. Bucks actually is also authors of several innovative books on how to invent, which I will share with you all later after his speech. So let us give Dr. Bucks a kind applause. Thank you very much. I pass to you, Dr. Bucks. Sir, for the sound is actually mute on your side. You need to unmute first.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, now I can hear.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chong, for inviting me, and I'm very happy to be here at this Manipal International University. This is in Nilai, I suppose, one of the very beautiful, one with a very beautiful campus. I'd like to thank the Computer Engineering and Computer Science, and also the School of Engineering and Computing for looking up to me to bring me to your university. I believe this is a computer university, right? So the subject that I'm going to discuss today, the lecture that I'm going to deliver is actually targeted at students, right? So we hope the topic that is discussed today is able to touch this engineering student, whether if you are in a computer student or whether if you are a civil engineering student or mechanical student, M&E, mechatronic, or you are learning about all sort of IoT, you know, this big data and so forth. I'm not going to actually talk about the engineering aspect of it today. So it's a little bit different. So that's why it's interesting for you to ask me some question by the end of this this discussion, and I'm going to leave some rooms for question and answer. So I will spend about 1 hour with you. So here I go. I prepared some slides. So let me have a look at the slides. Wait, hang on. Okay. Just give me a minute.
All right, sir.
Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes, but it is not the full image, lah, sir.
How about now? Is it a full image?
No.
No.
I think it's using two screen, right, sir?
No, I'm using single screen.
Single screen.
Let me check.
Although not full screen, but it still can see clearly, lah.
So, okay, wait, hang on. I think better to go full screen. Oh, it's duplicate. So it's should be okay, right? Where's the button? Let me unshare and redo again.
Yes. Unshare is on the leave button on your right hand side beside the leave button.
How about this? No, this is the poster. Can you see now? Yeah,
No.
you can see now.
Still not full screen, but the slide is there, but not full screen, but it's okay, sir.
Okay. So today's talk is about creativity and innovation. But I want to go one step further for you, the students here, because creativity and innovation, you can learn from your lecturer, from your professor. And if you go into the internet, you can find hundreds of gurus who are very good at creativity, and another 100 of gurus who are very good at innovation. There are a lot of thinking tools and all that. So I'm not going to touch on that because that you can get access to. What I'm going to teach is something that you don't find in books, you don't find in your university, which is called relationship. So today's talk is about what is your relationship with creativity and innovation, right? So you will be leaving your university in about 2 years' time. And when you leave your university, right, you go to work. So when you go to work, I think your main purpose is to make a living. And of course, if you can become innovative, ideas that is creative, you can develop some new technology, which is good for your company and also good for yourself, so that you can achieve more. The company can achieve more. So what I want to do is to tell you behind the creativity and innovation, we have to take one step back and understand the relationship. So this is where it's a bit tricky, but when I review it, then it becomes so simple. Everyone has it, and everyone can develop. Okay, so I'm moving to the next slide. Okay, John, can you see I'm in the next slide?
No, sir.
You cannot see my next slide. Is it moving now?
No.
Oh, you cannot see, yeah?
Yeah.
How come the other day we were working
now
fine?
okay. Now okay.
Now okay.
Yeah. Now it's slide 2.
Now it's slide 2, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so creativity and innovation have changed the way we live our life. It has actually allowed human beings to produce more products and services. With new technology has established new social norms and social culture, right? So as you can see here, social norms and social culture will change because of technology. So this is what I want to impress on you. Life is changing very fast, and we change is due to the technology that we develop. And of course, Einstein once said, science, science without religion is blind, right? That's what he said. So what he's trying to say is that if science is done wrongly, it can become very evil. So therefore, today's lecture is to tell you the science behind the science. It's the science behind the technology that you will be developing. So I go to the next slide. Are you able to see my next slide now? I have a machine here, the lady, the robot.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So as you can see here, the robot, this is something you can do. If you have enough knowledge, you have learned enough, the engineering fact behind the logics and all the computing. I'm sure you can create a robot. I'm sure you can. But what I'm trying to tell you, robots are actually made of metal. They are made of lead. They are made of copper, aluminum, stainless steel. So what's it about? You see, what is it about? It is about to service, the machine that you create or the process you create. It is to service life, service mankind. And this is where I need you to think one layer further. When you're trying to create a new machine or a new system, you have to understand you are the one who bring life to this robot. You are the one who bring life to the system. So it all depends a lot on you. If you put in a life that is supposed to do bad, then you do bad. If you put in a life that's supposed to do good, then that robot will do good, right? So this is as simple as that. And then the people that uses your product, the people that uses your machine, there are many layers, there are many clusters. Some are directly involved in the machine when you are developing. Some are directly involved with it when during testing, running, up to the stage whereby it is used in the market. Then when it's used in the market, then it has also other people involved. There will be uh, people who are promoting this for you. There'll be people who are trying to educate the public to use this machine, use this system. So there are many aspects of element that you have to think about it. But the main aspect is the user. So the user that use your machine, the user that uses your system, what is good for them? Why should they use your system? So your system bring happiness to them, or your system bring comfort to them, or your system bring a lot of how to say, a lot of meaning, in their life. So this is where you need to put in a lot of thoughts behind during the conceptualization time. This is to talk about how do you put a compassionate heart in a machine? How can any one of you answer me? Put it. Give me your answer in the chat box. See what you think. Are you able to do that? Anyone got any idea how do you put a compassionate heart in the machine or in the system? Chong, is there any answer? Anyone? What it says there? Anyone got answer for it?
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay, now I can hear you.
The answer from Sehan is do a coding on the machine to make it have a compassionate heart.
Do coding. Yeah. Do coding is creating the process. So you have to do more than that. The coding behind the coding, like I said, the science behind the science. So how can we incorporate the element of love into the product and services that can bring joy to the user, your customer, the society, and the world? If you look at this statement, the main word is joy, right? Joy means pleasure using your system. So whatever you're coding, then you got to think of the the end, That means you have the end.
Ada Ian.
Okay. Can I continue?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. So you need to have the end in mind when you begin with the project. So the end in mind is to bring joy, bring joy to your customer, bring joy to the society. So the joy is important. If you have that element in your coding, then you will do well. Okay, so now I want to ask you another question. What are the important things in life? Remember, I mentioned that we have to bring joy. So besides joy, what are the three main things that is important in our life? What do you think? Anyone can give me an answer? There are three lah. I just give you a hint. There are three main things. No matter whether you are in Singapore, Malacca, or whether if you are New York or in Beijing, human are basic human. They have these three things that they are looking for throughout their life. Anyone can give me these three things?
In my opinion, for me, is family, love, and care.
Family,
So,
love and care.
how about others? Others are health. They are health, time, safety,
Health, time, safety.
family.
Very good. Some
Is from others participants. You can share your experience here. You can type in, or you can even open your mic to share. Don't worry. Success come from Nageshwaran.
success. Important thing in your life is success.
Health come from Sehan.
Yeah.
Learning come from Sehan.
Mm.
Time come from Puvana. Health and time come from Wunda. Oh, money come from Mr. Salman.
Just now, there's one person that mentioned wealth, right? Health,
Yes.
health.
Health,
Is it
yes,
health?
health.
Health, yeah. Health is important. I think all men, all women in the world, they want health.
Yes. Come in again, our passion, family,
Passion, family,
reason,
yeah.
peace, shelter, food.
Yeah. Okay, let me, can you see my slide now? I move.
Now is still on the
man
slide.
answer the question.
Still on slide number 6. Yes. Now on slide number 7.
Okay. So the answer is this: health, wealth, and relationship. So if you could have health, if you can have wealth, and if you could manage a very good relationship, then you find happiness. Because happiness is the ultimate. The joy is part of happiness. And it's important. This three is, I think I need you to remember this three. If you could to develop your coding or developing a new system or AI or developing some kind of IoT, make sure you are developing something that enhance other people's health, enhance other people's wealth, enhance other people's relationship. Then that person has happiness. When the person, the user have the happiness, then your product, your creativity, your innovation go another level, much higher than other people. You got it?
Yeah.
This is a very, I think if you have a camera, I think you should take this photograph. This three element that people looking at, three facts people looking at. When it's there, people find happiness, right? Okay, so I move on. Okay, but before that, talk about relationship, right? So how do we, I think health, you understand health, right? But somehow human body still decay. We will still decay. As we know, our body will go through a process of aging and decay. Sickness will come and then we will die. But people like to prolong it because being healthy will give us how to say, give us quality time, right? And of course, wealth is important. Not to say a lot of wealth, good enough for you, that will be enough. But the relationship part is a difficult part. I think this is where I want to put more attention. Because just now the title of my talk is what is your relationship between you what is the relationship between you and creativity and innovation, right? So I want to emphasize more relationship. You as an engineer, young engineer, I want to tell you that you will be dealing with a lot of people outside after when you leave university. And I want to help you to make it easy for you to manage your relationship. So I cluster them into 6 main cluster. So your relationship with a parent, of course, is different from your relationship with your siblings, or if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, you're managing your boyfriend is different from managing your father, right? So this is the how you should manage your relationship. Then of course you got your mate, your schoolmate. If you are working, your colleagues. Again, this relationship is a bit different. Then your teacher, your mentor, even your piano instructor. So people who teach you about logics and maths and all that. Again, this the respect that you give to them and the respect that they give to you, and they teach you and so forth. So you must know how to deal with it. Of course, if you're working, your bosses and also those under you, you're considered your worker. Also, you need to manage the relationship and of course the community and the government. Again, you still have a relationship with them, although you don't know them, but they want your relationship, right? So again, this is a very important chart. If you have a camera, take a shot of this. You can go home and think about it. If you're having dinner tonight, you think about it. Why did Dr. Bucks says this is so important? Think about it, because if you're able to analyze your relationship at home or in your university or if you're working, it's all different. So when you're angry with somebody, but when you're facing another set of people, you shouldn't bring the anger over. You understand? So again, this will help you to understand yourself. Once you are able to understand yourself, means that you are able to manage your relationship. So if you're able to manage your relationship, then if you're doing any kind of computing or you're doing any kind of design, then you put in all of this that you know into your new process, into a new whatever you're dealing with. Then whoever the user use, he like it because he understood where you're coming from, because you already know the relationship, right? So I hope you like this chart. And okay, again, this relationship just general, but behind the relationship, this is another layer again. I want to tell you, you need to have a good actions. So I've created 52 good actions from A to Z. So you can take a look. Like number 3, when you act, try to act humbly, right? So these are behavior for you to sharpen yourself. Let's say number 9, conceptualize. If you're conceptualizing an idea, please conceptualize it smartly. There are many ways of doing things. So when you are thinking of some blueprint, so you conceptualize it smartly. Okay, okay, let's read number 24. Give readily, right? So when a friend asks you for something, so you must willing to give readily. So they say giving actually bring more joy than taking. So if you could practice this, I have actually written 52, but I actually write 51. I left one for you. Maybe you have some value better, or I have missed out, then you can put it in and share with me. So I hope you also use this chart. This chart will then develop your character. Once you have a good character through your good action, then whatever you do, you will be reflected in your work. You'll be reflected in your project, right? And again, what happened is it will bring to happy. I think happiness is what everybody looking for. I heard just now you're talking about your family. You're talking about this your work and all that. So at end of the day, you want to live happily, correct? So uh, you have to practice. I call it first you recognize it. What is it you are supposed to do? Then second is to practice it. And your character won't change in 1 week. Try over 1 year, the 52 threads. Try over 1 year. So after you practice, then you follow with experience. So then you can find the real experience in you. So now you have another few more years in the university before you go out. So I hope you try these things that I mentioned. If you sleep soundly. Don't try to get up and look at your YouTube. Okay, I move on. All right. So again, behind, I'm going layer by layer. So behind the relationship, there is a good action. Behind the good action, there is actually four types of love. The love is actually number one is loving kindness. So again, as you practice all your action, you practice with loving kindness. That means you have no bad intention, right? And of course, compassion. Compassion is to give to people that is a little bit unfortunate than you. For example, you have a car, someone doesn't have a car, he has to go on a motorbike, he cannot the rain. So you sort of like pity him. It can be in many other forms as well. I'm just giving a form. So compassion is a type of love, actually quite strong. And in fact, after I'm going to show you one of the invention which I created out of compassion and has brought me a lot of happiness. He has brought a lot of people happiness actually. Then he has also brought me happiness. Third is joy. Funny, you may ask, why joy is a type of love? Why? Can anyone type and give me an answer? Type your answer on the chat box. Why is the joy a type of love?
Anyone with answers? For me, sir, just my opinion, because joy is actually for ourselves. So we feel the joy, so it's actually love to ourselves.
Yeah, correct.
How
So
about just an opinion?
yeah, see whether other people got opinion. But answer is a little bit different from your answer, Mr. Chong.
Yeah. Okay, I think no answer.
The answer is this: joy. Joy is like in Bahasa Malaysia we call it tumpang gembira. Tumpang gembira means you feel the joy of other people's success. When your friend get, sit in the same exam, but he got a better result than yours. Instead of you having jealousy or instead of you being angry at him, you give him the joy. You praise him. The minute you praise him, you felt the joy yourself. So joy overcome a lot of jealousy. So I want you to practice this. This is the one type of joy that not many people know how to practice. So I need you to practice. Sorry, I know you're engineer, you don't like this sort of things, but you have to if you want to be different. If you want to be another type of engineer that can excel, you can really create impact, make the difference in this world. Listen to this lecture carefully because it's a bit different, which I have practiced, I've done it, and it has proven. Now the fourth type of love is called equanimity. Equanimity means you treat everyone equal, whether they are here, they are there. For example, now we know Ukraine. Ukraine being attacked by Russia. There are a lot of war suffering. So when you look at those things, you you feel a kind of equanimity, Although you don't know them, but you give them your love. So one way of practicing this, I can tell you, is to behave like an ocean. Your heart is big as an ocean. So whatever happen, let it be. So it's like people throw rubbish in the ocean. So you as a big ocean, you're so big that you can recycle those rubbish, or people spill the oil in the ocean. But your ocean is so big, you say, never mind, spill on me, I will still take it. So that kind of love you can actually create or manifest. You will impact a lot of other people. And believe me, this is very powerful. The most powerful one is this. This is the most powerful. This is most powerful because straight away you get an impact. The people that use your product, the people that interact, you will get it. Right? So now that I have shown you the four types of love, let's revise. Number one is loving kindness. Number two, compassion. Number three, joy. Number four is equanimity. So these are the elements of love that could enrich our society. Now, I want you to, of course, be an engineer. But then you say, Dr. Bucks, this is nothing to do with engineering. But remember, we are enriching our society. You engineer also same. You design things also to enrich our society. Correct or not? So this is not engineering, but it can be used in engineering, right? It goes to the same line, same user, same direction. So if you can have this, you can impact the society. Okay, so here actually I want to show you a shower, but my computer is not running well. What happened is a long time ago in KL, there are many people. I see whether if I can show you. Can you see this, John? Can you see the slide of Kuala Lumpur, 11 o'clock at night? Cannot
No,
see
I
it.
only see mobile shower for homeless.
Okay. So in KL, there are about 1,500 people. They don't have a home. They sleep on the street. So when you go up 11 o'clock, you go to Jalan Pasar, Jalan HS Lee, Kotoraya, bus station. They are sleeping on the floor. So out of compassion, I built a portable shower for them. So I did it, out of compassion. I never thought of anything else. But then the words get around. I get I get a call from all the newspaper. I get calls from Astro, calls from BFM radio. They want to know what drive me to invent such thing, and I told him this is what we do. If the fortunate one does not help the unfortunate one, who can, who will? So I thought that we should help them, right? So you are an engineer yourself, So whatever you do, try to do it with the I mentioned, with compassion, with love, with joy, with humility, and you will stand out. You will definitely stand out. Okay, so there's a video actually. Uh, I cannot play because my computer today, not sure why. I cannot play. But this shower, portable light walk shower, it is, let me see if I can play. Are you able to see or not?
No, from my side. Do you have a separate video, sir? Maybe you play the separate video. It will be viewable from us, lah. But if we play from the slides, we cannot see.
Okay, never mind. So I just explain that. So this shower is portable. I make it in such a way it can collapse. It is 1 meter by 800 mm, and it's about 20 kg. So it can be put into a car. Then you can put the car, and then I give it to those NGO. The NGO, they will distribute food. So after distributing the food, then the shower then can be opened up and put at the bed lane. And at the bed lane, then people will take the shower. I got these people who have the shower, they came to me, and they thank me a lot. So that was a real happiness that I get. And then of course, then the newspaper come to know, then interview them. Okay, so this is another product that I did. It's called light walk grating. I designed this mainly for the oil and gas. So I want to show that this paper which I delivered at Abu Dhabi Abu Dhabi conference, and I was there to deliver this technical paper. I am the only Malaysian. Yeah, I'm the only Malaysian. Actually, there was Petronas, but Petronas was the organizer. So I was the only guy who delivered that paper. So you can also find this paper at the Society of Petroleum Engineers. That you can see the number. if you buy that paper, it cost you, I think, about 200 US dollars. So today I'm giving it to you for free. Yeah. So this light bulb grating that I created has got four major advantages. It's much lighter in weight. It has got a better integrity. That means I can take more load. And of course, when I use less raw material, it becomes very cost effective. And my design has got a true anti-slip function. It's good for oil and gas. I'm going to go in a bit of detail so that you understand. This on the left-hand side is actually the conventional grating, which you find in the market today. On the right-hand side, this is my design. This is a flow chart to tell you that how I start from a raw idea until commercialization. So it begin with a concept. Remember, I told you about having a creativity of mind. So when you have a concept, then I then put into a computer to run the finite element analysis for the purpose of optimizing the design. Meaning, I want to have the less weight but able to take the heaviest load, right? Then once I know the design and confirm, then I develop the prototype. After I did the prototype, I need to go for the test. I must make sure the FEA test and also the actual material product test will give the same result. Then I aim to do the oil and gas. Therefore, I have to do a corrosion test, which I did. Then I pass it. Then I file a patent and I own the design. So I'm the owner of this intellectual property. Then I didn't want to go into business. I signed a license. I signed a license to a commercial company. Then they sell in the market. So I make on royalty. On the left-hand side is the conventional design. As you can see, we call it the load-bearing bar. It's solid. On the right-hand side is my design. You can see it's hollow section. So that way it's a lot more lighter. And this is just to tell you, we run the finite element analysis on a computer. We're using this kind of test. And these are some of the objective and these are the parameter, because when concept comes, I have to give some parameter for it to run the test, and we found this is the best. Having it at 1.5 mm thick, and then with a 15 mm width and 35 mm height, and as you can see over here, the deflection is within our allowable deflections. Then I make a prototype, then I send for testing, and we how to say, we get the result. As you can see, we got manual calculation and we got computer calculation and we got prototype calculation, prototype results. So as you can see, all the results are different, but all I passed the test. So except that it's a bit different because, you know, again, manually and actual product, you should get different in results. And these are the significant of study and more things that I need to do. And corrosion test, this is a corrosion test that I did using ASTM G44. Okay, this was done at University Malaya because they were helping me, and we did we have to simulate the situation like as though we are in the ocean. So the temperature is controlled. Then the solution is the salinity is controlled, and we have to dip the samples into the bath 10 minutes, then take out 1 hour, then go in again 10 minutes, then come out again 1 hour. So we got to repeat that until 1,000 cycles. So while we go home, this automation continues to run. These are the samples that I sent for the testing, and these are the result after 1,000 cycles. We have two pieces coated with zinc, and the other two pieces are uncoated. As you can see, it's uncoated or rusted. So in conclusion, after 1,000 cycle, which is about 42 days, the live grating is found to be resistant to corrosion. Meaning, if our product is put into the middle of the sea, it should last more than 8 years. And then if it's along the coastal line, it should last like 20 years. Then if it's 30 kilometers inside inland, it should last more than 30 years, right? So just like your lamppost, those are in the seaside, you can see after 20 years, you can see some rust, right? When we do a product, whether you are doing for medical or whether you are doing for agriculture or anything, there's always a standard. So in my case, I follow the British standard, and we want to do international business. So we went to Singapore to test by this Norwegian lab called DNV. When you are doing business, you must remember the world doesn't understand who is Sirin. So even when I was in Jakarta, when I told them I tested with Sirin, they laugh at me. They don't understand what Sirin. So I have to do it, get an international brand, and I passed the test. This is their threat for people to work up. Again, I passed the test, and then this is a test for resistance, and this is very interesting. We have one panel, and we need to get the work. We call this the person to wear the shoe to walk up and down and spray water 6 liters per minute. And then as he spray, 1 second has to go up at 1 degree until the tester fall out of balance. Then we'll measure at 1 degree. So we are able to go up to 35 degree, fantastic. Whereas the conventional can go in maximum 25 degree. So it means we have the best anti-slip in the world. This is the best in the world. So we claim we are the best, right? This is me. Of course, I have to also to present to my customer whatever the conventional grating can do. I can do. I can cut. I can I can do whatever that they require me to do. And most important thing is I'm able to save 47% in weight. So if oil platform is float in the middle of the ocean, the weight is the main concern. Every kilo that you save is every kilo more that they can put on. So engineers like this grating because we are the lightest in the world. Then I have to also create the bracket, which is the easy part. A bit of creativity, I did it, and I start selling to Petronas. And these are some of my photo that I have supply. Right, this is Charigali on a skid tank. And this is NGL. This goes to Philippines, right? So these are some of the work that we supply. Okay, and this is a German factory in Westport, Auckland. They make chemical, 6-story high, so they use my product. This is for staircase. They use this because staircase I have the best grip, so they like it. And when they're renovating the stair track, they replace with lightwork. And this is in Sabah, the Bear Sanctuary, I think it's Sadakan, where the tourists will walk on the canopy walk. This is actually a canopy walk. It has to be light. So our material is the lightest. So the visitor can walk on it and look down where the bear natural habitat. Right. So these are some of the walk. This is an oil refinery. I have a lot of picture, but just show you a few. And this is Petronas. Finally, they approve our product. Okay. So my parting word to you is it has to come from your heart. Whatever you are designing. Just now, one of your students was saying they want to do coding. Yes, correct. But it has to come from your heart. Whatever the coding that you're doing, with a pure intention that you really want to help others, then you got a much better product than others. Okay. So I think with that I conclude my.
Yeah. All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your innovations and your heart in this inventing principles with us, and also, as well as with all the participants today. So, in summary, I actually can see that Dr. Bucks actually advises to when we want to invent something, we must come up from the heart to help people to meet their health, wealth, as well as their relationship to achieve happiness. So I myself, I like the slide number 9 when Dr. Buck shared with us the 52 principles in how to be positive in helping others. So I believe that a lot of inventions actually come from that 52 principles. Examples like Facebook initially is just want to connect people, right? The pure intention of Mark Zuckerberg is to help people and connect people. Who knows Facebook become a giant company now, right? An example for another two inventors, remarkable Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, when they started Apple II, the machine in Apple, their mindset is actually to help people to be more efficient in their work. So all these things comes pure from the heart, and then later only the innovation, and later it only become patented, become a company, and then monies only come, right? And then Dr. Buck also shared with us his journey in making his invention of the light brick wall put inside the all platform, right? So he shared with us the journey from making the prototype into implementing and testing the prototype, into taking quality measurement and evaluation from international institution to achieve international qualification in terms of quality. Then only it is sufficient enough to be commercialized. So we can see the journey is long, but once you achieve the product to be commercialized and you can get your royalty and also your name as an inventor, it is a most remarkable achievement in life for every engineers and every inventors out there, I believe. All right. So from here also, I like to promote also Dr. Bucks actually have written 3 books. All right. So I share my screen here. Okay. So Dr. Bucks actually have written 3 books that he himself actually write his secrets of success and also his inventive principles to all the readers who interested to buy these books. All right. The first book is The Secret to Developing Your First Brilliant Idea. All right. This book is actually during the years of Dr. Bucks, he started as an inventor. So there is neither book nor professional mentor to coach or guide him. Hence, he had gone through the mill and learned anything about this trade all by himself through trial and error. So he thought it would be beneficial to technology developers out there if he could provide some important tips on how to create a successful invention. He has also a few advice about what you should avoid so that you will not fall into the pit hole. Being an inventor is a difficult journey because you are trading into an unknown space with an unknown idea. So the ride is tough, and this book is a must read if you wish to be a successful inventor. So particularly this book, it will be very beneficial for everyone who want to have your first brilliant ideas, your first patent. So it will be very helpful. So the book itself is hard copy, the price is here, and the soft copy, the price is here. So if you're interested, you can actually contact me. You can actually WhatsApp me. All right. So I put my contact number and WhatsApp here, voila, in the chat box. If anyone interested, you can contact me by WhatsApp in my phone. In the chat box now, I put. All right. For ordering purpose, then I share another 2 books from Dr. Bucks. All right, this is my phone number. And this is my email, my work email. If you're interested, you can order here. For students of MIU, you can personally contact me anytime. I'm in the 3rd floor of MIU building, all right, under the Computer Engineering and Computer Science Department. If for non-MIU personals, you want to order this book, you can contact me in this phone number and also in this email. Okay, this is the first book written by Dr. Bucks. All right, then I go to the second book. Okay, second book. Okay, as an inventor, this book I myself I bought. All right, I mentioned to you, I myself I bought when I meet Dr. Bucks that time during year 2015. All right, I like this book because as an inventor, we would need ideas. Where you want to get ideas and what problems to solve to help people. So the problem to help people, as Dr. Bucks says, is either you increase a person's health, a person's wealth, or a person's relationship. Then you only can make a valuable invention worth to be patented and worth to be commercialized to help people. And where you get your idea from, it is from this 1000 problem written in 2 books, part 1 and part 2, written by Dr. Bucks. There, I myself, I read through the books. Dr. Bucks have authored in a lot of problems happen in our life right now. And those problems need to be solved. How to solve, it depends on you. But what is the problem that you want to solve? It is written inside there. So if you can solve any of one of the problems inside there, I believe your idea and your prototype can be patented. All right. So this book listed 50 different unique problems to be solved. I believe it's 500, right, sir? 500 here, 500 here. So total 1000.
No, 50.
50. Okay. 50 unique problems to be solved.
Yeah, 1000 is the target at the end of the day on, right?
All right. So there are simple problems we face every day in our life, yet isn't really a good solution. The author challenged you to think a way to solve them. He encouraged you to think creatively, think out of the box if you can. Like for example, a problem which may seem likely to be solved through medical approach, it can be solved through a solution by using engineering approach. Depending on your level of understanding on the issues, the author believes that there is more than one approach you can take to solve them. You can think of a simple idea to solve a particular problem, or you can think of a more sophisticated solution for it. The book is suitable particularly for students in university or college, polytechnic, and secondary schools. So this is the price of the books itself on hard copy and on soft copy. I still remember one of the idea Dr. Bucks written, which I read is, I still remember in 2015 is, Dr. Bucks mentioned in this book, where I remember now, is for diabetes patients, it is very difficult for them to track sweetness of a drink, how sweet they can drink, right? So if someone can come out an invention to measure sweetness inside a drink, that kind of invention can be patented, right? Just a simple one to measure sweetness in the drink for diabetes patient, to certify that the level of sweetness in the drink is suitable to be consumed by diabetes patient. So those are one of the questions come out in this book, right? So it will, when you read the books, it will kickstart your innovative mind, how to solve them. You keep asking yourself how to solve them, all right? Okay, then the last is always the best. Okay, I myself, I'm a fond of the Dr. Buck's book on this, turning ideas into innovations. Particularly, I want to say to you, particularly this book is very, very useful if you want to file an invention in Malaysia. So Dr. Buck has shared with us all the tips, technical or non-technical, rules and regulation, links to all the professional bodies and certifying regulations in Malaysia into this book, where he shares his experience and his innovations, ideas, as well as the journey, how to turn idea into patents, patents into commercialization, and how to get it certified and qualified by professional bodies. So let us read a bit on the synopsis. The author is a practicing inventor himself. He is one of the most prolific innovators in Malaysia, having won numerous awards with his ingenuity idea for creative inventions and for his innovations. He is one of few inventors who is able to walk through the entire spectrum of conceptualizing a raw idea and developing them right to putting the new idea into the marketplace. In this book, the author reviewed the 7 steps methodology that he uses for transforming such idea into a commercially viable product. In this book, he also explained a simple thinking to iSketch form that one can use to conceptualize an idea to resolve a problem. He also designed a self-test for a person to know if his idea is worth spending time and money developing it. He also explained why you shouldn't fall into the short scenery trap. Short scenery means you design something, you like it yourself for those that are not familiar in BM, Bahasa Melayu. All right. So this is the hard copy. The price at 60 and the postage at 5. But there will be no soft copy, right? No soft copy for this book. I believe this book is copyrighted, right, Dr. Buck? Yeah. That's why it can be hard copy, no soft copy, because copyrighted purpose. Right. So for whoever interested to order, you can directly contact me through my phone or my email, and then I will collect your orders, and then only then I pass the orders to Dr. Baksa with the payment as well. All right. So I believe that's all for today. Thank you very much for Dr. Bucks to sharing his valuable experience with us. All right.
Mr. Chong,
yes.
maybe if there's any question that the student want to ask me, I think it'll be good for them to ask me directly now.
Yes.
Sorry, I was kicked out just now, so I tried.
No problem. No problem. I actually want to thank you, Dr. Bucks, for sharing your ideas with us. And then I want to open the space to any participants who would like to ask any questions about inventions, patents, or any inquiry in questions that you're thinking now want to ask Dr. Bucks. So I open the floor here. So anyone can ask, either you type in chat or you can open your mic and ask. Any students? Okay, come from Jeffrey. All right. Jeffrey Jazzy, which is my student here, written, "Hi sir, I got a question, but I know it is out of topic. Is it possible to create an operating system for quantum computer? If yes, means how it will be looks like." He's asking about operating system for quantum computer.
Yeah. So quantum is actually quite difficult. You are going to an area that is quite quite dark, unless you are very good, and also you need to go through a lot of hurdles and challenges, and you're going to fall many times. You need to have 2 things. Number 1, you need to have a very good mentor with you. You have to look for a mentor first. And your mentor not necessarily understood what is quantum, but is able to guide you, to give you a lot of spiritual support. And number 2, what you need is time. I don't know how much time you have, because when you finish school, you want to go to work. If you don't go to work, then who is going to support you financially? whether you have the time or not, because I think this thing will take you a few years, minimum 3 to 4 years. I hope I answer your question.
All right. Thanks, sir. Thanks for Jeffrey too. Yes, anyone have?
Dr. Bucks, I have a question. Wenda's here.
Yeah, who is this?
Yeah, Wenda.
Wanda. Okay.
So if just now Doctor mentioned that when we are inventing something or creating a solution for a problem, we have to come up from our heart and come up from the mindset of helping people. So previously I had an experience when my team and I was trying to build a system to control the COVID-19 cases with mobile phone. But however, that system was not profitable. Then when we present it to the investor doesn't seem to be very interested, but we knew that it will work, and it currently already implemented in the MyCetera system. But like I don't know, like if the solution is not profitable, but it's come out from our heart, and we know that it will works. So usually, how should we tackle this kind of a problem? Yeah.
Okay, so in your case, you have made one big mistake. Your mistake was you went to see an investor. Investor is not interested to do things for charity. Investor are people who bet on you. Once they put 1 million, then they want 1.1 million back. You know, if they put 100,000, they want $110,000 back. So when your product is more for like social, you shouldn't look for investor. You should look for NGO. You should look for government, where they are non-profit, but they will do it for the sake of the people health, for the sake of people's safety. Then you got a better chance. When I say NGO, there are many NGO. There are Malaysian local NGO. There are also overseas NGO. There are also government. There are Malaysian government. There are also overseas government, like Singapore, like United Nations, like Japan. You can also approach them. So your mistake is you went to see an investor. So that was the wrong step.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Right.
All right, thanks, Wenda, for asking. I believe just suggestion, if you approach the WHO, it will be also good. WHO also available in Malaysia, in KL.
Yeah, correct.
So the pinpoint is we must market our product to the right audience, right audience. So if your product is making money, go for investors. If your product is helping people, go for the organization that help people. So, but never give up. Never give up is key. All right. Any others person want to ask any questions?
Okay, now I can open up for some of the lecturers if they have. I'm sure that there are a couple of lecturers. I saw a couple of PhD. Yeah.
So for academicians and also industry engineers here, any of you would like to ask questions to Dr. Bucks?
Okay.
Anyone? All right.
Okay.
So if let's say there are no questions, then I myself, I would like to ask Dr. Bucks. All right.
Yeah.
On your journey of becoming inventors, I believe you have invented a lot of things to help people. So can you share with us one of the most sad or darkest or most challenging path that you go through to invent something, which actually influence both your mood in inventing? Maybe you can share with us how that happened and how you overcome that challenge.
I at one point was doing some animation, and I asked one of the company who subcontract the work for me to do this animation. And because I'm new in the animation industry, I did not have the necessary finance license to sell my finished product to RTM, whereas he has. So because of he has, then I said, okay, you sell to RTM, and then we will do a deal. I will give you the commission. So we also agreed on the commission. But the thing is, he went to see RTM, and after a few times, he told me very susah, very susah. But end of the day, he got the contract. When he got the contract, he take the whole contract. He hijacked my project. So I lost about, I think, 500,000 of value there. and I was very disappointed about such a behavior. People who I actually groom, a company who I actually give job to, belakang, they stab me at the back so hard. In the beginning, I find it very difficult to understand. But then I realized that this world, they are full of evil people. Although, the evil maybe too harsh the word. But there are people who cannot keep their honesty. Because I'm an honest man, I prefer that other people who deal with me are also honest. Then I realized this world not like that. There are a lot of people not honest. So to overcome it, I let go. I lose the 500,000. I never call lawyer to sue them and so forth, because even though I got all my evidence and documentation, I decided I don't want to spend any more time with them. So the good point is I continue to channel my energy into positive use. I create more invention, I do more design, and I do more work. I do more lecture like this. So I feel more happy. All right.
Thanks for sharing with us. I believe for those people who are Buddhism and also non-Buddhism, you may know on the word karma. Karma means cycle of life, where good you get good, bad you get bad, come back. So I believe
but I never wish bad thing on him. I just let it go.
Yeah, understand. I actually I can feel your positivity as when you lose something, you put on the positivity and continue to be positive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we should be that way.
That's actually a very good path of life.
Yeah.
Any more other people want to ask any questions? Yeah, come from Sehan. How would you go about avoiding this sort of situation in the future?
We can't because I would think in this world we are made up of people who has got good heart in nature and people has got bad heart in nature, and we just don't know what kind of nature they are, because all the face are similar. They're all smiling at you. They're all very polite to you. So I just can't. And when it happens, it just happens. You have to just take it and be prepared to be bullied, prepared to be stabbed at the back, prepared to be looked down also. In fact, when I was a young inventor, when I first designed my multi-locking pulley, I went to see a investor, because it's a commercial product. First word he said, you invented this, you didn't copy from somewhere, So these are very degrading words, very look down on me. I actually I don't care, because they can be whoever they are. They can say what they want to say. So I just take it as a part of life, part of the difficulty of my profession. I'm sure every profession they got difficulty. So in invention, these are our difficulty. All right.
Yes. Thank you, sir, for sharing. I believe sir also coming from a journey which is with blood, sweat, and tears to be today.
Yeah,
all right.
I went through a lot of hard time myself. I went through a lot of good time also. So this is a challenge that inventor go through. Yeah.
But the secret is never give up, never give up. Yes.
Yeah, never give up.
Questions from people? Come from Mr. Salman. People are self-centered and selfish sometimes, right? That one I believe. I just maybe here I add on some of my sharing, all right, from my perspective. Okay, if let's say we have an invention, we can protect it by using patents or copyrights. But what happens if during the filing of patent and copyrights we are hijacked? So personal experience is, I file a patent, but when that time I'm working with a friend who is in charge of marketing of that patent, I'm on the technical side, right? So along the way, when we work, everything is good, everything is beautiful, everything is nice, chatty. We can talk, we can even drink tea together, right? But when it comes to near to patent filing, my marketing friend hijacked me. He want to own the patent 100%, 100%, and he want to keep me out. So he go to the university at my back to somehow want to hijack me for all this. But somehow he is from marketing. He do not know patents regulation. He do not know the technical side. He know nothing. He just that I can take the thing, brand as myself, it owned to me, and then later he filed the patent under my boat, it will be claimed under hers.
Yes.
So such thing happen. happen.
Yeah.
So my word of advice is, if you want to invent something, you invent from your heart, and make sure that people group with you have the same heart mindset. matching with you, right? So we cannot judge people from outside, but along the way, when you work with them, you deal with them, roughly you know how they behave, and roughly you know they match you or not. As the English proverbs, right? I want to share, birds of a feather flock together, all right? So make sure the birds that flying is same as feather with you, all right?
But Mr. Chong, the way to overcome this is to create more things. That means you are not just bound to one pattern.
Yes.
If this one cannot curi, never mind. You got 4 or 5 more left, you know. So you every month or every 3 months or every 6 months, you always come up with something. Although may not be a product, but at least got idea, you know, keep continue developing. And that will be staying ahead of competition. Stealing ideas are driven by greed. When people are driven by greed, they cannot go very far. Because the technical man, when they get your invention also, they'll die with the invention. They won't go very far. I'm sure of that. So you don't have to worry about people stealing your ideas. I never. In fact, a lot of my product, I also didn't want to file a patent. I know if people want to curi my idea, I let them curi my idea. But I always have other thing, or I have other market that I can always work on. So I'm not too worried about people curi my. Because the product, let's say this is a mouse. Tomorrow the mouse will be different again. You understand? So this is a simple mouse. The assuming you can do the mouse with the vibrating, they can give a massage. Something in it. So if he has curi this mouse, but you got another mouse that has got vibrating effect, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that pattern. So you continue to work on your product. You don't have to worry about people curi your product.
Yes. Thank you very much for your encouragement. For my product, that time actually, we go through a internal university court case, and for that, I won the case. I managed to file myself. So it become a big experience, But always, I like what Dr. Buck say with us. We don't care people steal our fish. If let's say I put patterns as fishing, we don't care people steal our fish. We more care about our ability to do the fishing. Because fishing is a skill, invention is a skill, but the product, the fish, can be stolen. But make sure we maintain the skill. All right. So, any more questions from the audience? Okay, come from Sehan again. What sort of outcome do you most look forward to in a product? Profitability or impact on people?
I look at the joy of the user. The joy of the user, that means the user appreciate using your product. That's my first aim. So once they are able to enjoy using your product, then you have a successful product. The commercial things will come as people wants to buy your product. You know, so your number one aim is to have that joy. Remember, I told you there are 4 joy, the third joy. So when he use your product, he has the joy. You also have the joy, and the invention will go very far by itself. You don't have to worry about the commercial part. The money come to you.
Yes. So I agree. I agree on what Dr. Buck say. If let's say any one of you actually know about the history of Steve Jobs, I just want to share here. When Steve Jobs promoted the first iPod in the world, he pulled it out from the little pocket in the jeans where normally we cannot put anything. He pulled it out from there. And his intention of iPod is to bring joy, to let people hear 1,000 songs in the pocket, replacing the big chunky Walkman. If any one of you in the generation used Walkman before. So you can see a lot of people enjoy use Apple products because Apple products bring joy to the users. So when you have the joy, when you can stimulate people joy, the people appreciate and buy it, and money comes later. Money is always on the later topic, all right? So hope that answers.
I know a lot of inventors, when they invent things, the first thing they think about is how can I make $1 million out of it? If you have the type of mindset, then I'm telling you, the money will run away. Don't look after money. You must look after joy, because you go after money, money will run even further. So this is my advice to you, to the people here.
All right. So hope that also satisfied your question, Sehan. Thanks for asking. So such a critical questions too. So any more questions from the floor? We're still open for questions. Okay. Sehan, again, what sort of market would you think have a lot of potential of innovation nowadays?
You're asking quite a broad question. I would think as long as human is around, human require energy, require food, require medical, require the how do I say, some kind of a survival skill. So these are the area where constantly the human require. So because your question is so broad, I don't know where you're coming from, but if you look at, for example, Alibaba, right? They came up with just a Alibaba platform for people to do trading, buying things from China. But then they went into logistic because they want to transport the things to their customer, right? Then they also got vegetable. Then they got a frozen truck. Then after that, they went into payment, Alipay, because people want to do payment for whatever people are buying. So from there, they evolve lah. They keep evolving. So I don't know where you're coming from. I need to ask you.
For your info, Sehan is actually one of the computer engineering students in Manipal University. He's also one of my student in the previous sem.
Yeah, so I don't know where his interests are, which line. But whatever you do, you involve in supplying or giving a solution to humankind. That is what we need, because we are the user. You know, whether I use it for my health, or whether for my consumption, or whether for my lifestyle. You know? So these are the thing you should be looking at.
Yes, so I believe that answers Sehan's question. But just to add, for the market itself, you should think of things that bring benefits to people. All right. In terms of your revenue, of course, that one everyone want revenue, but make sure that your product bring benefits, bring joy. Then revenue you think later. Then only your product will be contributing. Once it's contributing, money really comes later. Okay, any more questions? Okay, question from Muhammad Mas. Okay, what advice you would like to give to graduates now?
Okay, so during my time, we really enjoy playing football in the rain. You know, today the world has changed so much. I'm not sure what the young people like today, but whatever you do, you try to follow some of the precept that I gave to you, which to build a good heart, right? So whatever you do after your work, whether you working as an engineer or whether you're working as a production supervisor or in the R&D lab, you can go very far. I can guarantee we can go very far, because your nature is to help other people. The minute you are able to help other people, people like you already. Because why? They can help. Our life is conditioned. You know? If we don't drink, we feel thirsty. If we don't eat, we feel hungry. So human require conditions. Even if the aircon doesn't work, they feel hot. So if you can come up with solutions that help humankind, then you can go anywhere, any kind of field. Whether you go into the oil and gas, or whether you go into the automotive, or whether you go into financial, you will be somebody. Remember, today's lecture, we talk about relationship. So you have to build yourself first, the relationship, understand yourself, then understand the relationship with the 6 cluster of people that are around you. And from there, you build your own character. Then on top of that, you enhance with the 4 type of love that I showed to you. You can go anywhere. You will be well. You will live a very peaceful and happy life. Okay, right. and even rich life.
Thank you very much, sir. So I believe, sir, advice is if you can be helpful to people, right? You can be helpful to people. You can bring benefit to people. You will grow limitless.
Yes. Don't talk about yourself first. Talk about how you can help other people first. That way you can go very far.
Yes, right? Yes. Because just want to share with you, if let's say we are self-centered, let's say we focus on ourselves. Now the question comes, if we are self-centered, the question comes is why people want to help us, right? So if you want people to help us, you should not be self-centered. You must be willing to extend your help to help people. All right. Okay. So that is the way to grow, right? If you're able to help people, people will help you back. right? So for new graduates here, I also like to also share, if let's say you go out, don't worry on whether you know things or do not know things a lot, but more on planting a good attitude, all right? Planting a good attitude in your work and also in your progress and also in your thoughts, then you will move smoothly, whether in industry or non-industry work.
Yeah, plus studying hard. Don't
Yes,
forget,
yes, of
that's
course, studying hard.
fundamental. So
Studying hard.
I also need you to study hard, spend time on your research or your project instead of just watching YouTube and football. So I need you to study hard as well. The more knowledge you have, then the creativity and whatever you want to invent can really come up. If you have got very shallow knowledge, then very difficult for you to go very far, right? So you need to study as well. Okay.
So maybe we call for last question. Any last question before we end? Okay, since there are no last question, then I would like to formally thanks a lot to Dr. Bucks for taking up this invitation to share your expertise with us. And also thanks a lot to all the participants who show your interest with us today. So with this, I'd like to conclude the talk itself. And once again, thank you very much for all your cooperations given, sir. And also cooperation from the participants as well. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
We shall see you in the next talk that we can organize. Thank you so much. Right. Again, for those people who want to order the books, you can approach me in my email or in my phone. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay. The talk. So
thank you, sir.
thank you very much. Thank you very much for participating. I will be the last one to leave. So I wait for all of you to leave the meeting first. If you have no questions, if you have questions or anything on the books, you can actually chat with me here. All right. So for that, I will end the meeting. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you. See you again. Bye-bye.